Hey everybody, welcome back to the Brothers Samuel Mary YouTube channel. Thanks for watching this video. Today we're going to talk about Advent. Advent. It's a beautiful liturgical season, no? Very nice,
beautiful, very colorful.
Yeah, very purple.
There's a pink in the middle though.
Yeah, that's always nice,
That's
having a little bit of pink. Because, Advent is kind of a weird liturgical season. I know there's tons of questions, I think, revolving around this season, like why do we even celebrate Advent? Like what difference is there anyway with Lent? Because it's like, purple, penance. Is there penance during Advent? Another question.
Question that we have to tackle.
Yeah. Also, I don't know, questions like, can I go to Christmas parties during Advent?
Yeah, especially in the Philippines. Party.
Debated question.
Yeah, it's gonna be hot.
Yeah. Or should we fast during Advent? Ooh,
another question.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see in a little bit, I guess. And today, as you can see, I brought along a brother friend with me here. His name is Brother John of the Eucharist, and he's from the Philippines. We entered the brothers almost the same year. No, you were a little bit, tiny bit before me, a couple months, but we're kind of like batch mates. So
batch.
Yeah, brother, why don't you tell something cool about yourself?
Well, something cool about myself. It's been 7 years that I'm here. I think it's cool enough.
7 years in France?
Yeah, 7 years in France.
God bless you, brother. God bless you.
I was assigned for my apostolic mission in Montpellier. It's in south of France with the youth. We called it patronage. Nice. To give some analogy, some image, it's like a boys' town, something like that.
Yeah, it's like an all-boys school kind of thing.
Boys. It's not a boys' school because it's not a school. It's a association where we accompany spiritually, personally, really cool. And psychologically.
Nice.
The youth from the 5 years old to like 17 years old.
17-ish? Okay. It's like,
something like that.
Grade school to high school is pretty cool. Nice.
Yeah. And I love to cook, and I have a cooking channel.
You can subscribe to his cooking channel. It's called Cook Like a Bro. We're working on his channel too. So. It's got videos in English, videos in French too, right? Yeah. So if you're French speaking, you can watch these videos.
Thanks to this brother.
Really no. We've been having fun. Trying to brainstorm with it too, trying to make like evangelization through it somehow.
Yeah, we'll try to
see, I don't know.
How to evangelize through cooking.
Yeah, anyway. Well, speaking of YouTube videos, as you can kind of notice, this is the first video I've made in this kind of new format, like podcast-ish format, like kind of like talk show. It's a lot more chill, no? It's kind of fun. Less formal, and a big reason why I'm trying this out is because it's a lot easier to edit.
It's true.
My gosh, like video. Oh my goodness, like I'm really happy because you guys watched the Behind the Lyrics series, but like, oh my gosh, those took me so long to edit because it's like when you have even like a half second where you're not speaking, like you have to cut it. Yeah, it's a different style, like YouTube. Yeah. So, YouTube, typical YouTube style.
Yeah,
so this is like
there must be no dead seconds.
Right, it has to be always moving. Yeah. So this is a bit more chill, but I'd like to tell you right away is if you don't have time right now to watch the whole video, because as you can see, it's a bit long. What I suggest that you do is save this video to your Watch Later playlist.
Yeah.
Do you know about that? The Watch
Watch Later playlist.
Yeah. I think if you look at the bottom of this video, you have a little button that says Save, and if you click on that, right? I think it's like that. No? You can add it
to playlist.
Yeah. If you just click on Watch Later, and that way it like saves it in your account, and you can come back later when you have a good coffee and you have lots of time, and you can
for sure
think about how to live your Advent season.
Sunday afternoon, like that cool chilling Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, just that time where you can take time for yourself, and listen to what we have to say.
We'll see.
Anyway, so as we said, I'll kind of introduce this topic. So Advent is a bit of a weird season, and I'm really grateful because someone, it's really cool when people leave comments on your videos. Yeah, it's really nice. Someone left a comment, which is like a suggestion, because I asked the people during my Behind the Lyrics scenes to give suggestions about what I could do. And so there was one girl who left a comment. I'll read this comment to you. It's very nice. She said, "Thank you so much for this series." Wow.
Oh.
I really enjoyed them. Ooh, very, very nice. Thank you. Thank you.
How sweet.
Yeah, very, very nice. And then she said, as for ideas, you could do some Advent reflections. Great idea.
Yeah.
It can be hard to figure out how to grow during Advent when more stress is placed in Lent. Yet I know it's still just as important. God bless. And then she said, P.S. I'd love to hear a Marian song sometime if you're still going to write songs. Pressure's on.
Speaking of songs, I will let him sing because I love to sing, but the song doesn't love me at all. So.
No, he sings well. He sings. All Filipinos sing well.
Oh. Thanks for the encouragement, bro.
Yeah. So anyway, Advent's like, it's a bit kind of difficult to understand,
It's true.
And I guess just right at the beginning, I was going to ask Brother John of the Eucharist, what was your experience of Advent like? And I'll give us a short little summary of like Advent when you were, I don't know, a kid or when you were a brother in the Philippines. Like, what was Advent like?
Interesting question. Yeah. The first thing that comes to my mind when speaking of Advent, I think I was 8 years old at that time. I didn't understand anything. My mother is a very pious woman. Like, he's really a church goer.
Typical Filipina kind of.
Typical Filipina devotional, devotional faith founded, something like that. You know? And one afternoon, I went back to school, and I saw 3 purple candles and 1 pink candle. Like, oh my God. What are you doing, mother? Mommy, what is that? It's Advent season. Advent season. Boom. Advent, what is that? When we wear purple.
You wear purple during Advent too?
Yeah. It's very strange. When I ask this kind of question to my mother, she doesn't know how to answer it though.
Yeah, interesting.
It's very weird. But okay, I follow this kind of practice. Every Advent season, my mother prepare a Advent wreath.
And then you wore purple socks during Advent?
Yeah, something like that. It's very cool.
But there's a question because when I was in the Philippines for 3 years, as some of you know, like I was kind of struck because they kind of joke in the Philippines that they say that Christmas starts in September.
Yeah, it's true. When the Burr month begins, like September, it's already Christmas for us. And it doesn't end in 25 of December. It ends mid or end of January.
Yeah,
like
that's right.
Santo Niño.
Because then you have the Santo Niño after. But like I remember when I was there, they would have Christmas music playing on September 1st.
Yeah.
It would start the Christmas music would start. Imagine that. So like you go shopping in the mall and it's already like, jingle bells, jingle bells.
Oh, Philippines in the supermarket. In the supermarket, everywhere in jeepneys.
Yeah, but that's really. I'm surprised that your mom was like into Advent because I when I was in the Philippines, I really rarely saw people into Advent.
It's rare. It's rare. It's rare. I visited some of my friends at that time during Advent. Also, they don't have this kind of practice.
Right.
It's normal day, it's Christmas already, Christmas for them.
Yeah, that's right. It's kind of difficult, but like there's another question too revolving around that. I was going to ask because I noticed Filipinos, they also and Americans and French too, I guess. Well, we're in France, by the way. I don't know. I forgot to say that in the beginning. We're students here in France, having some fun making videos. But they love Christmas parties in the Philippines. You have a Christmas party for your work people, then you have a Christmas party for this side of the family, and then for the other side of the family, and then for your neighborhood, and then for your classmates, and then for your blah, blah, blah. And it's like almost your entire Advent can be like doing Christmas parties. Advent. Is it right?
It's true. I am in it. I was with it. Ever since when I was a child, there's a school party, you should not miss the school party. It's,
oh yeah, I forgot.
It's important, and where we do exchange gifts, everything.
Yeah, and then dances, no?
Dances.
Yeah.
And then when you go back home, there's another party.
Another party. Yeah.
Family party within the family.
Right.
And then there's another party with the cousins and aunts and to the mother's side.
Right. And it's like every day you have a Christmas party.
And there's another party to the father's side. And then there's a party between friends.
Yeah. Yeah. Like all the time.
It's crazy. Like
all the time.
I was asking, well, Advent equals party.
Christmas party. Yeah. It can be kind of, because like, at least for me, like growing up in a bit more, not like super traditional, but a bit more traditional kind of Catholicism, like we would really like, it wasn't like, how to say, we weren't like not allowed to go to Christmas parties, but it was a bit frowned on. Like,
really?
Yeah, kind of like, oh, like Christmas parties during Advent, like, is that really like the best time for it and stuff? Yeah. Like, it's not like we would still go, but because I think it's an interesting question though, because it's like, if you were going to celebrate someone's birthday, let's say, like if you were going to celebrate my birthday, and you wanted to celebrate it like 2 months in advance, like, I don't know, it's kind of the same, like it's Jesus' birthday. So it's like, well, we're celebrating his birthday, but it's not his birthday yet. But it's like, I don't know, it's kind of weird, but, and I don't know, for me, it's been interesting, because like in the Philippines, you really can't like avoid it. It's like, you really have to go.
After there's the party, there's the party, the little parties with cousins and everything, school parties, and then the Christmas day itself.
Then you have Christmas party.
It's another party. It's really the big party.
The big party. Yeah, that's right.
What the sad thing is that in the Philippines, culturally speaking, in my family also we could sense that the degree between New Year's party and the Christmas party, because we put a lot of emphasis on New Year's party.
New Year's, okay, with the big fireworks and stuff. In Cebu, it's really cool.
It's sad. It is for me, it's quite sad, because it's the birth of our Savior.
Yeah.
We should really give everything on it.
And it's a bit less.
There's a party, but the emphasis is not that enormous, you know.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Especially you were in the Philippines, you could feel it, the ambience.
Yeah, that's right. Christmas. Well, it's still pretty cool. I mean, like at the Brothers, we did a big thing for Christmas. I mean, because at the Brothers, it's nice because it's like we're very liturgical, you know. So, but no, I think this question of Christmas party is important. Like, you know, to kind of like reflect yourself, you know, about what it means. Because I don't think there's like a real, like the church doesn't give like a very clear answer, like do not go to Christmas parties during Advent or else, you know. I don't think they say, but as we'll see, it's a bit hard to figure out. But
I studied in a Catholic school. And they had
a lot of parties. So I don't know. It's kind of hard to give like a conclusion. Like, is it bad? I wouldn't say it's like bad, but like, of course, like. What's important is that Christmas be celebrated like as Christmas during Christmas season.
Perhaps we have another notion of when you speak Advent, we don't for our culture, Filipino culture, we think of feasting. Advent equals a feasting. It's like our Savior will come. So it's the moment that we rejoice. Yeah, because we forget.
Misa de Gallo. Oh my gosh, I forgot about that.
9 days preparation.
Oh my gosh,
We wake up at 3 a.m. to have a mass so that you could see your
that's right. I forgot about the Misa de Gallo. Well, of course, the Misa de Gallo. How could we forget that?
It's crazy. In the Philippines, you wake up 3 a.m.
Yeah, the 9 days before Christmas. Every day at 3 a.m.
And then why they wake up? Because one is the things that when you finish from day 1 to day 9, you can ask a wish.
Like for example, hoping for a boyfriend.
That's why you will see during those days.
All of the young people will go, they try to, asking the Lord, please, I'll wake up at 3 a.m.
30, could I find one?
And sometimes it works, I think. So I've heard stories about how they offered the novena.
I wish they did realize, though.
Yeah, sometimes it works. I know, that's interesting.
It depends which kind of wish did you ask. I asked to be a religious, though.
Ah, really? That was your wish?
That was my wish.
Oh, it's very beautiful. I when I was there, I didn't give any like specific wish. I don't think I was just
I didn't ask a specific wish during my last day in high school.
But this is really interesting, I think, because like hearing brother talk about Advent and stuff in the Philippines, you see that like they have a very different way of celebrating Advent. Like they put a lot more accent on like how Advent is really an anticipation, like a joyful waiting for Christmas, and it's more of the festive part, which is part of Advent, as we're gonna see.
The end part of Advent.
Yeah, but it's totally legit, and we see that like seeing other cultures, I think, is very rich because it like opens our mind up to like, you know, the way that we would celebrate Advent in America or in France is like it has its strengths as well, but it's, I mean, the church exists in many other cultures. Like it'd be interesting to know like African brothers here. There's African brothers here. We could ask them how. Yeah, but anyway, so I was gonna share with you guys. You know, I was trying to find out if the church says like very specific things about what we should do during Advent, like very clear indications. And actually, it doesn't really say very much. I was kind of surprised because I'm like, wow, it's like liturgical life. It's a big season, and from what I could find, they don't have the church doesn't really say too much. And I was even asking our professor brothers here, like Brother Gonzague, and he was like,
theology.
Yeah, our dean, you know. And even the dean of theology of Remo told me, so this is like real. He's like, it's true, there's not much written about Advent, like a specific document that like tells you. And so he was going off of other things to give a class he gave in the liturgy he was telling me about. But there's a couple things I wanted to share with you. One quote that I found, which I find very beautiful, in my missal. I'll get my missal here. This is a great investment, by the way, if you ever want a daily Roman missal with the whole entire, look, it's super huge. All the readings for the whole thing. And they have these little quotes at the beginning of the liturgical season. And so I just kind of fell on this when I was doing my Lectio one day. So it says here, Advent has a twofold character, for it is a time of preparation, for the solemnities of Christmas, in which the first coming of the Son of God to humanity is remembered, and likewise a time when, by remembrance of this, minds and hearts are led to look forward to Christ's second coming, at the end of time. For these two reasons, Advent is a period of devout, this is really cool, Advent is a period of devout and expectant delight. I like that. And this, so actually I forgot to say, this is a quote from, I don't know what this is, Universal Norms on the Liturgical Year and the Calendar. I never heard about this document, but it's nice. Hey, it tells us something about Advent. So, like, I think this is really cool. Devout and expectant delight. And there we see already right away a big difference from Lent. Because Lent is like, right, it's really like penance and, you know, like repentance and preparation to live. Actually, I was reading in the same book because I looked also at Lent, and it said something about preparing ourselves for the renewal of our baptism, which is being incarnated in the death and resurrection of Christ in the Paschal mystery. So we have to pass by this death, and that's where Lent. That's why Lent puts such a heavy accent on the penance part. Whereas for Advent, it's not the case.
No, there's the preparation. But for the Filipinos, we forget the preparation part.
It's just right away Christmas.
That's what I discovered when I was in preparing the youth in Montpellier. I said, okay, I will give some Advent talks or Advent online, something like that. So I was reading.
Oh, you did that too. That's really cool. Okay,
And so I discovered that there's a twofold.
The twofold side, like the second coming and the first coming. That's really cool. So it's really like about the coming of the Lord.
It's the coming Advent. The how to say?
The Latin word, I think, for you Latinists out there, I think it's advenio.
Advenio.
I think. Advenire, well, don't quote me on this one.
We're bad.
I've been doing more Greek in the last couple of years. So. Anyway, but it's really true. This twofold coming. That's another big topic that we could get into. If you have questions about that, or questions about anything else, by the way, don't hesitate to leave a comment in this video or send me an email. I'll put my email either in this video right now or in the description of this video. So that if you have questions, you can always send them to us. We'll answer your questions. But anyway, let's see so I guess to like resume a little bit about this part about, okay, like what is Advent and how is it different from Lent? So it's like, we are really waiting for the coming of the Lord, which requires that we prepare our hearts. Like we really prepare it, not necessarily by penance. Of course, we can do penance during Advent. We can always fast any time of the year. Well, except Easter maybe, but I don't know. Even during, I don't know. Anyway, like it's preparing our hearts with this joyful waiting. And there's another thing I was going to say, I forgot another quote, which I don't have with me, but you know what? The fathers of the church say a lot of cool things about this period, especially in the office of readings.
Yeah, it's true. Office of readings.
Good thing to do during Advent. Well, we'll get into that. One of the practical things you can do during Advent. But anyway, so it's like joyful waiting, not so much about fasting and penance, which is the emphasis of Lent, preparing ourselves for renewal of baptism and participation in the Paschal mystery. So, that's really nice. I think now, brother, we could do is let's kind of transition over to seeing, like, now that we've kind of seen the spirit of Advent, like, okay, waiting. There's still a lot of questions there, like what does it mean to wait, like liturgical, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. The second coming, what is the second coming? Yeah. Anyway, lots of questions there, but let's try to like think about certain things, like everyday things we could do to really like concretely prepare our hearts for the coming of Jesus, Yeah.
When I was in Montpellier preparing this thing, I was reading some prophets.
Yeah, totally.
Who really speaks about the coming, the preparation, like Isaiah.
Typical, very, very
John
typical.
the Baptist.
Definitely, Lots of the readings are taken from Isaiah. Even like, especially this first week, I noticed, I think all of the first readings were from Isaiah. Maybe even more, I don't know, haven't done my homework.
Most of it, it's from Isaiah.
Right. Isaiah is a big one. But I think you hit a good point here, because it's like, reading the readings for the Mass is important, because I don't know if you guys knew, but during Advent, the church gives us specific readings every day. That's really cool, because during like the ordinary time cycle, it's kind of like, okay, we're going to go through the Gospel of Luke this year. And it's like, you just kind of move forward a little bit in a continuity with the Gospel of Luke. But in a special liturgical time like Advent, I think Lent might do the same thing too. It gives us very special readings, specifically for the liturgical season. So a great way to prepare your heart is to read the readings every day and a lot of them are from the prophets. Super interesting. Thanks for mentioning that.
Especially Isaiah.
Definitely Isaiah. Another thing you guys could do too is, like I mentioned, with the fathers of the church, the office of readings is so cool. I was looking today, for example, in the office of readings today, there's a beautiful passage, Saint Anselm. Yeah, it's really, really cool. Actually, if you go to my Instagram, my Instagram page, you can find a quote from Saint Anselm today. Wow, I don't have my phone with me, so I can't give you a quote. Anyway, it's very, very nice about something about taking time away from the activities of the day to like really center on our relationship with God. It's very, very beautiful. So the fathers of the church, the church takes a lot of different passages from the fathers of the church, which are very, very nourishing at the spiritual level. I noticed, especially during Advent, to nourish our hearts for the coming of Jesus. Like there's one that a lot of people really like. It's Saint Bernard, I think, when he tells the story of the Annunciation. I don't know if you remember, and he's like, all heaven and earth is waiting for the response of Mary. Like that's very, very beautiful, no? Yeah. So there's the fathers of the church. For spiritual nourishment, going to Mass as well. And what's cool too is you can along with the scripture, not just reading the daily Mass readings, there are other very important people, actually like Adventee people.
Okay.
That's
interesting.
I don't know, like people who are shown, especially like in the beginning of the Gospels, before Jesus was born, which are very good examples of how we can prepare for the coming of the Lord. Like Virgin Mary, for
Virgin
example.
Mary,
yeah, super, super important. We even celebrate the Immaculate Conception soon,
yeah.
right? Yeah. We have procession, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
And then there's also John the Baptist. You could read the passages about John the Baptist, reflect on how does he prepare for the coming of the Lord, being in the desert and stuff.
In the desert.
He
Crying in the desert.
he cries in the desert and eats locust and honey during Advent, maybe.
He shouts in the deserts while eating honey.
That's right. That's a nice Advent. Maybe you can.
And taking us swimming in Jordan River.
Yeah, that's right. So you need to go swimming, take a walk in the desert, and eat crickets.
Crickets and honey.
Yeah, John the Baptist is a great one. Zechariah as well, the father of John the Baptist, and Joseph and Elizabeth. Yeah. Lots of people to meditate on, their lives and stuff. Yeah. And then there's two passages that I would really like to recommend. Oh. Yeah, two biblical passages, which we actually, the religious and priests, we pray every day at the Divine Office in the morning and at the evening. There's the Magnificat. Yeah, and the Benedictus, which are like super great prayers. And it was funny, I just realized that both of these prayers, they take place during like the first Advent. Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. Like the people, they were waiting for Jesus, or like the prophecies about Jesus. So the Magnificat, which is the prayer, which by the way is the prayer of Mary at the Visitation, and the Benedictus is the prayer that Zechariah says when it's when his mouth is open after he was like punished by God.
What's his name? His name is John.
His name is John, and then Benedictus. Yeah. Yes. And so anyway, that's great things you guys can do. And so we're almost nearing the end of our little podcast video right now. And it was interesting. I'd like to share a little bit. We were on an apostolate a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
Was that yesterday?
That
was yesterday.
It was yesterday.
I'm still so tired from yesterday.
It was yesterday. In a school near in our convent.
That's right, a school. We went to a school.
A school named Varange.
Notre-Dame des Varanges, yeah. Interesting. But we went there, it was, how old were they, the kids? Like, I forget, it's like...
Sixième
to quatrième, I think. No,
troisième.
Which is like...
From
11 to 15-ish, 14, 15, yeah.
14, 15 years old.
Yeah, and we did a what's called in French a temps fort, which means like a strong time.
I like
it's funny though, if you translate it directly, it kind of doesn't really work. But a strong time.
It's very strong.
A strong spiritual time to prepare them for Advent or for Christmas and stuff.
For Christmas and stuff, yeah, because we don't have any activity for Christmas.
That's right. We're for Christmas with them. But we anyway. What I'm trying to get at here is that we were talking about poverty and joy. Yeah, it's kind of like two themes that we were thinking like these are good Advent themes: poverty and joy. Like, yeah.
We think about it because during this season, during this kind of difficulty, we are asking ourselves, how are we going to celebrate Christmas, or how?
So true with COVID and stuff.
Advent with this kind of problem, we cannot even go visit somebody else, or we could visit, but within a limited area. Yeah, there's a kind of poverty at the level of friendship itself, relational, everything. So, and we should not. The thing is that we should not let this poverty spoil our Christmas. So there's kind of paradox. How are we going to live this paradox during this Advent season?
How to live Christmas 2020 in a joyful way. It's really true. It's a tough thing, like COVID and stuff and poverty and everything. But it was for me. It was pretty beautiful. We talked a little bit about that. They seem to take something away. At least I hope. I don't know. We played some games.
It seems so, because after the presentation that we had, after the talks, we met some of them. And they were very touched.
Really good.
They were asking, when are we going to have this kind of activity again, or when?
It was cool. Sorry, so we had to cut the video a little bit because our camera went out. Okay, we're back. Just a last little thing here. So poverty and joy, Holy Family, definitely they had to live that. And we just want to wish you a happy Advent, happy Advent. Read the scriptures, say the rosary with Mary, and if you have more questions about Advent or about, I don't know, other topics, leave a comment, send me an email, Messenger, Instagram, whatever. And if we have some time, I really hope we have time to make more of these videos. We can respond to your questions. So,
is there another part of this one, or
Advent?
During.
If they ask more questions, we'll just keep on going.
Otherwise, I will ask you questions.
Oh. So thank you so much for being with us. Share this video with your friends. Don't hesitate to subscribe. Go check out his channel too. And thank you, brother, for being with us.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, and know that we will pray for everyone who watches this video. So God bless. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Night.
Oh, that was fun.